So again, maybe a futuristic or a philosophical question. If there was one superpower that you could give to the robots that you are building right now, what would that be and why?
Interesting. So, coming from a perception background, my computer vision and perception background, I would always say that I want to give my robot foresight. Foresight means it can predict the future actions, like using autoregressive frameworks and autoregressive attention mechanism. It can predict what is going to happen in the next 5 seconds. So, if from this, what seeing the future. So, there are networks we train where these synthetic data kind of things are in real time given to the robots with the reasoning aspect, so that the robot can actually predict next 5 seconds of the scene and then think of what action I can take. And then before that action happens, even we can save that, like not happening from that, any kind of accident or like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thought because it will only operate on data, right?
No. So autoregressive networks can predict. So basically there are models which can be trained to predict the future frames. So using a combination of generative AI and reasoning, these models are being trained where you can predict the 5 seconds, not much like 1 hour of your life, but at least next 5 seconds of your life can be predicted, right? So that's how these networks work, and we embed them into the robots so that they are much more aware and prepared basically to face any kind of devastations.
Okay. Right, I got it. So I was thinking more in terms of the regression algorithms of predicting whether it's going to rain today or not based on past data and all that. So that kind of thing can also most probably be used, but you are the experts. I'll not go.
Yeah, that is also possible. Yeah.
So next question: what is the simplest example where simulation? You said you use Omniverse, right? Save time or money in a real project that you have actually worked on. I mean, if you can describe that project and how it has saved time, money, something like that. I mean, anything that comes to your mind.
Yeah. Awesome question. So I cannot tell the details about the project because it's under NDA and stuff. But it saved. So once we have the digital twin, when I say, is a bidirectional thing. So whatever data that is manipulated in the digital space is also pushed over the air to the real world facility or the real world warehouse or the store. So on all these autonomous stores that we have built across. So in those autonomous stores, there are no people, but there are only a few robots displacing from one place to another, refilling all those things which are empty. Meanwhile, while performing this outside in AI, there were spaces which was kind of a blind spot for the robots and also for us. But with the digital twin, before the cameras were placed, we were able to, in the digital twin itself, the layout planning was done in a proper way so that the calibration file at the end we saw was a stitched map of the whole warehouse and the store. So if suppose you already had placed the cameras before doing the digital simulation, I think the robot would have crashed at that point. All the robots would be, because that was kind of a blind spot for them. Lots of rewiring, cutting, all those would have been taken place. But with the digital twin concept, we did not have to do that before the layout planning was done already.
Good one. Lot of things to learn actually. So and sometimes gives me a strange feeling as to what world we are living in and where we are heading from the time we grew up and all that.
That's I also think sometimes that all these technologies are so much more advanced and like it's getting out of hands because it's evolving at a very fast pace. We have to keep on updating our knowledge bank every now and then with the upskilling and a lot of algorithms, lot of research happening worldwide, lots of billions pushed into AI, and we have at NVIDIA so much responsibility to deliver.
Yeah. The whole industry and mankind is looking forward to NVIDIA to take this forward maybe. That brings me to an interesting question. I mean, you are an expert, right? Already an expert. So how do you keep up with these technological changes? I mean, do you study a lot? You hear podcasts, or you do a lot of courses? You try hands-on stuff? What is your mantra to keep up to date? Because it's virtually impossible for a human being nowadays to keep track of everything, that because overnight things are changing, every minute, every second new things are coming up. So what's your
Right.
advice, and how do you personally tackle this kind of a challenge?
Yeah, awesome question again, because lots of students right now reach out to me on this, that how do we keep up with the pace of the technological advancements? And not only students, it's always because for industrial experts also, once they are into a certain domain, switching the domains isn't that easy. But I always start my day with a lot of newsletters. So since I'm working in the AI space and the robotic space, there are like 5 to 10 newsletters that I have subscribed. I know they are good because I followed them a long ago, and I keep them updated with the current news of what is happening in the AI and the physical AI space. And of course, at NVIDIA, there are two labs, Gear Labs and Spatial Intelligence Lab for robotics. So these two labs, GitHub repos, are something I always check out for new source codes or new kind of projects they push. So these two labs are something I always keep a track of. When it comes to physical AI, for AI, there are a lot of labs at NVIDIA. So there are spaces at NVIDIA where you can find all those aspects, the talks. So there is something called NVIDIA Watch on Demand. So that's open to public. So all the talks of NVIDIA experts from Google, Microsoft, whoever has given a talk with collaboration with NVIDIA in GTC, in other conferences, we have published everything there. That's a huge knowledge bank. Any kind of topics, you just search it and you will get a lot of talks and with the top researcher and industry experts, and you can listen to those while you are on traffic or on the go.
To watch the full conversation, click on the link in the comments below.